Hey everybody, this is ADHDIY with just a real quick off-the-cuff little video. It's a callback to one of the projects I posted a little teaser of a while ago. Forgot about it. In fact, I didn't even know where it was until I happened to go in and look at some comments. By the way, thank you everybody for the comments, even the mean ones. I'm loving it. What this is basically just a real simple ESP8266 connected to an OLED that can be controlled through a web page. So let's just see what happens when it first starts up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the reset pin here. Oh, that's not the reset pin. Okay. There we go. So there's reset. It's going to go through. And the first thing it does is it's going to go ahead and tell us what its IP address is. And we can go over here onto my other screen, which I will show you here in one sec. There we go. And pop that in. And we get this nice little web page. This is nothing special. This web page is straight up sample code from W3 schools. In fact, you'll find a lot of my stuff is sample code that I then went in and messed around with and tried to understand and then mashed together, which I'm told by people at work that that's actually just called programming. Who knew? So when we go ahead and once we load this page, you'll notice that now you have a nice little cute guy over here. Okay, I call him a cutie. So what does this page do? Well, if we hit talk here, our cutie will talk to us. He doesn't actually say anything. There's no speaker connected, but hey, there's nothing to say you can't add the next iteration with the speaker. Or maybe just a little buzzer and he can just beep at us like R2. Next, we have a wink. Yep, and he'll just give us a little wink there. Okay. And finally, and this is the one I really like. Of course, this is the second time I've tried to record this, and I can never spell anything correct the first time. So, never mind. We're going to say hello, Freen. I really want to say hello, friend. Anyways, so, I mean, this is real simple. Now, my thought is to take this and bundle it up in a little robot guy that can wander around your house and just display messages to people and can be controlled through a little website on your phone. Now, the cool thing is this is a reactive template, so it should work perfectly fine on mobile. And if I had any clue how to record my screen on my phone, I might actually try that. All right, so there is the information. Basically, we can wink, we can talk, we can send messages. Now, the next bit here, we'll take a look real quick at the code. So, just going through the code here, I'm going to mention that you do need to have the libraries for the ESP8266 installed and the board information for that. There's lots of places out there that you can find this. And yes, I do realize I'm doing the thing a lot. This is my longest video I've ever recorded. I apologize. But anyways, you also need the library for U8G2 lib. This is your OLED library for the screen. And I don't remember, I believe that this is just a base part of Arduino, but that may be another library that needs to be installed. So, taking a look here, I want to point out this here because this is something that you will need to edit. One is you do need to select the OLED screen that you have. I have just a generic straight off of AliExpress OLED screen that I picked up for, I think like $5 3-4 years ago before I decided to do something with it. This is a 128 by 64 no name SPI. Over here, these are the pins for the D8, D1, and D3 for CS, DC, and reset. I have a list of the pinout that I also have as a README. Oh yeah, all this code is going to be up on the new ADH DIY GitHub that I created. Yeah, that took a while. But you know what? I learned something new. I did have a lot of other things to do, but that's what ADHD does to you. Anyways, so this is part of the pinout here. So we'll take a look real fast at the pinout. I'm going to go ahead and just point them out here. Ground to ground, VCC. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up a little bit bigger here. So if you look here, it goes ground, VCC, clock, MOSI, res, DC, and CS. This is not the best way to view it. Let me see if I can pull this up a little bit and get a better. All right, so you can see there, get the colors there. Yes, I'm using a webcam. Deal with it. I do have a new GoPro, but I have no idea how to get that set up properly. Anyways, so here is what it looks like again on the OLED. And I wanted to bring you over to look at here. Here is how it's connected to the ESP8266. Now, one thing about the ESP8266 is it's a relatively old chip, a couple of years old at least. On the plus side, it is Wi-Fi enabled. It is Bluetooth enabled. Not Bluetooth. It is just, I think this one's just Wi-Fi enabled. And you can pick it up for like $2 off of AliExpress and sometimes even off of eBay. They're really cool, really low power. There's a new version that's been coming out. Like more popular is going to be the ESP32. That one I know has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. It's a little bit different form factor and is often used. It's a little bit more powerful and is often used with little mini cameras. I got a couple of those. Those are pretty cool, and I might show them later. Okay, going back over to the code here. So the code's actually relatively straightforward. It should be, because it is really just a bunch of sample codes smashed together and remixed. So make sure you update your password and SSID here. So you want to put your Wi-Fi SSID. That is the name that you see when you try to connect to your Wi-Fi. Then you also want to go ahead and update your password there. Obviously, my Wi-Fi and password is not replace this. And that would be dumb. Anyways, make sure to go ahead and do your prototypes. I believe that's what they're called in C++. It's been at least a decade since I took an actual class, and even longer since I probably really did programming in. Even longer since I really did any programming in it. Um, let's come down here. These here, you're going to see a bunch of these. These are bitmap arrays. This stores all the images for the animations. One thing with this, I can't remember the exact process on how I did it. I know I did it in GIMP. What you want to look for online is how to convert to a bitmap array. It is important to define the height and width properly. And you'll get that when you save your bitmap array. You do want to have it a little bit smaller than the actual size, which is 128 by 64. I went with 100 by 63. That kept it pretty much nice and centered. So you'll notice that there's a lot more here in the bitmap arrays than what I'm using. That's because I have experimented a bit more with this. I have some winks, I have some sparklies, so feel free to have fun with those images, especially since you'll have no idea what they look like either until you add them into the program somewhere, or you decrypt them yourself. Finally here, this is the other important part that I wanted to show everybody. This is the code for the website, the web page. I guess there is some way that I can actually store an HTML file on here. I couldn't figure it out. But what you do is you can actually just store it into a character array, or C string as they call them in C++. And we wanted to do a raw C string. That's what this R is here. And then before that, you have to have a delineator. Okay? And that's this raw page and then open parenthesis. So everything from this open parenthesis all the way down to this close parenthesis is the page. The delineator just tells it when does it start, when does it stop. Why does it need it? I don't know. But it does. And this way you don't have to worry about escape characters or anything. It's going to take whatever it sees between those two delineators and keep them exactly the way you put them in. So next this is the setup. Here's where I start the graphics. Here's where we connect to the Wi-Fi. Once it's connected, we're going to go ahead and serial print, say it's connected, where it's connected, what the IP address is, and then we're going to go ahead right here and write the IP address on the OLED. That's what this write message function does. After that, we're going to move down and take a look at over here. So now we get to the handler. So if we get to the root, we handle root. Or talk, here's where it makes the animated talk. Now, the animated talk, I'll show you how that works a little bit later on. But then we have message. Inline and GIF, these are leftovers from the sample code. Here's wink. Handle root, all it does is it will toss a wink on the screen and then go ahead and serve up the home page. Here's your standard 404, not found. All right, so just real quick, here's the animated talk. It's just a real simple animation. Int is the number of syllables, so it will basically move the mouth that many times, okay? First it starts normal, then it goes to small, or first starts big, then small, then goes to normal. And that's basically how it talks. So it's assumed that it starts at normal, so it goes big, small, normal. This is just my code for drawing a cutie. Once it's up there, it'll stay there until you draw something else on the screen. Here's the code for writing a message. Here's a wink. And then there's our loop. So this is super simple. It's super fun. My thought is I want to take this and I want to incorporate it. Basically, I want to make Cosmo, okay? I want to make a Cosmo. I'm mad that I didn't get to buy one before they went belly up and I didn't have the money. I spent instead on my Transformer, who's still over there, and my robot arm, which is still being worked on. I'd show it to you, but I'm embarrassed on how little I got done. Instead, I spent the entire day digging up this old project, debugging it because I had somehow introduced some more issues, and then recording this video. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. There'll be a link to the GitHub, also a link to another page. This is where I found a lot of information on how to connect the Node MCU, the 8266, to specifically an SPI OLED. I2C you can find everywhere. SPI is really hard to find information on how to do it. So anyways, this is what I got for you. I hope you guys keep learning new things, especially when you're supposed to be doing something else. That is the ADH DIY way. So have a good day.